Welcome back to Solynod Hex, everybody. Today we're holding session number 337, and today's session is sponsored by our patrons. Thank you very much, patrons, for your generous
Thank
pledges.
you.
We
Thank you.
wouldn't have dynamic lighting without you. Players at this time, if you have not already done so, go ahead and select your main character's token, your PC. Hold the shift key and then double click on your PC's token. It'll open up your character sheet directly from your token, and go ahead and add 337 points for showing up on time to session number 337. That's a big thank you for showing up on time. When last we left our Order of the Superior Star, they were in the tropical mountains of the land of Nod, about 12 miles outside of the capital, Megiddo. Sailing uphill slightly, up a what's it called? Aqueduct. Hundreds upon hundreds of feet in the air.
Aqueduct.
Hundreds upon hundreds of feet in the air. The crew became tired. It's approximately 6 p.m. The group is accustomed to traveling 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. The Order of the Superior Star, that is. But this crew is accustomed to the normal hours of daylight, so 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And so they have dropped anchor, and you are now on this map. The Tropical Mountains Aqueduct.
I almost thought I had to refresh my page until I realized I was looking at a cloud.
So you are so high, you're above the clouds. So high. And far below you can see the mountaintops. And there's somewhat of a little bit of a sandstorm, and clouds are flowing, blowing by beneath you. And you're on the River of Life, probably 400 feet above the ground.
Sweet. Oh, and Josh, Zaldi messaged that he was running late. I said he'd be there in about 15 minutes, and that was 5 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. Forgot about Zeldy. Alright, let's drop Teneroth's new token.
I don't feel bad about saying to myself, who is Zaldi now?
Yeah.
I really did. I was like, who is that? Oh yeah, the deep gnome.
Yeah.
He's so cute though.
Is he though? Is
No. No, he really isn't. He really is not. I really will hope that everyone captures this as some of like Calamar's thinking and underworld shit. I mean, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Okay. So, Gromnar and Calamar have just made short work of Kumtu's plight. He was trapped in a smashed helmet, and the irons about his wrists and ankles have been knocked off with the knock spell. And Gromnar, with his amazing strength, ripped the helmet off the man's head. Snap! And then a few minutes later, the crew was basically like, quitting time, and Tinneroth's like, um, you know, Maddie Foodle, drop anchor, Chum.2A2, drop anchor, um, crew members, you're off for the day, and everyone's like, yay! And so they're celebrating maybe with a little bit of grog and making dinner. Um, and a couple of them, Bombosa and Chum.2A2, disappear into the galley, and shortly you smell the smells of burning wood and cooking food. Fortunately, the crew did not waste your rafts and took the opportunity to take a lot of it as firewood. And they cut up and put it in the hold and stuff, so there's plenty of firewood down there for now. And time now is 6 p.m. 6 p.m. March the 14th. Okay, so 6 p.m. March 14th, 11:85, and -1 per round. And I believe everyone is on the turn order right now. Yeah, Tinsy, Asher, Calamar, Gromnar. Okay. Alright, so it looks like first up is Calamar and Company. The sun is beginning to go down. You've been rather cool the entire day because the ambient temperature of the water around you has brought down the surrounding temperature around the boat. So instead of it being 100 and some odd degrees, it's probably like mid 80s and much less dry than normal desert uh, um, dryness or whatever. And I don't know if you feel like that's more or less pleasant than being in the desert, but um, I don't know, personally, just a little bit of basically free AC, from the bow of the ship
Yeah.
coming up over, feels pretty cool against your skin. The sun is reaching the horizon, and pretty much everyone's hungry unless you have some kind of I don't know if I know Gromnar had like super bolus the other day with his eating proficiency, but I'm not sure if that's worn off yet.
Probably, but Luther's been casting Create Food and Water every day, so I think
Yeah.
that's what.
Okay, so right about now would be probably a good time for him to feed everybody. Yeah. First up is Calamar and Company.
So Calamar goes over to Asher and she says, "Oh, we're almost here. I can't believe it. Oh my God. There's so much I've got to do. I've got to do shopping. Oh my God. But what should we do? Like, we just got this boat and it is really nice to stay on. But see, if we travel on it a lot, we're gonna not like it as much to stay in. Do you think that we should get a hotel or should we just stay here on the boat? It's kind of new, you know?
Asher says, I wouldn't mind getting a room in a tavern. We tend to, get good leads on things that are going on and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and we don't have to walk as far 'cause, I know that in all the other cities we visited, with ports, the ports were like way outside the city and you had to like a mile and a half. So yeah. Okay, cool. How many people do we have?
Asher does a quick count and says, you, me, Gromnar, Tenzi, uh, and then all of our followers, and she like ticks them off on her fingers.
Are your guys gonna come or stay on the boat, do you think? They'll probably stay on the
Well,
boat.
most of them will, but Bambosa's gonna come with us.
Oh, that'll be cool.
So let's see. I'll have 4 people with me, so that's 5. And you'll have 4 people with you, so that's 5. And then
Yeah.
Gromnar just has Luther, so that's 12. And then Tenzi is 13. And I think maybe that Zaldi guy's coming with us, so 14. And Zion, 15. That dog.
Don't forget the dog. Dogs are people too, you know.
Okay, next up is Asher and Company.
Asher's going to walk over to Maddie Foodle and kind of lean out on a rope and look at her and say, "Hey, good job with that anchor there."
She finishes hoisting out the anchor with a lever that's like detachable.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
And Asher says to her, "I look forward to traveling together. What's your story?"
She looks up at you and she kind of goes off into a daze, sort of like recounting her past, and she says,
My story's a little complicated, Captain.
Asher says, "I like complicated."
Well, it goes like this. Well, you see, I'm a mouse burglar, and I come from a long line of mouse burglars. It all started with my great grandfather, Baldybert Craps. He sold the family's barber business and squandered the proceeds on beer and wenches. He had to go into the burgling business to make ends meet. Fortunately, he was a natural, and so have all his descendants been. I grew up traveling from village to village in the hills of central Panoplia, dodging the authorities and fencing stolen goods. My parents were successful mouse burglars who didn't think they had to settle down to raise a child. This early nomadic lifestyle left me a wanderer for life, never staying in one place for long. When I came of age, my parents arranged for me to marry Chubby Bub Whack-a-Mole, a successful merchant who agreed to act as my parents' fence for a time. This allowed the family to finally settle down and live a somewhat normal life. That is, until my parents and husband were caught.
Oh
They,
no.
they were eventually incarcerated for their crimes, and I was left to fend for myself. After some time, I have realized thieving ain't easy alone. Now, after many a larcenous adventure in Gronar, Bryn, and Blackburg, I've found the gang of the legendary thief Asher Kaihana and the rest of the Order of the Superior Star.
Ooh, that's a good story, Maddie. I hope that your parents and husband make it out pretty soon.
Yeah, well, I I decided I didn't want to have anything to do with that son of a bitch, and I took my maiden name back too.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I didn't want to be Maddie Foodle Whack-a-Mole. Isn't that
Yeah, that's
ridiculous?
pretty stupid. That's pretty
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah. I far prefer the name Craps.
I mean, who wouldn't? And she pats Maddie Foodle on the back and says, "Well, it's good to have you aboard. I can't wait to go on adventures with you."
Craps is obviously the superior game to Whack-a-Mole. I mean, come on now. Whack-a-Mole is for like babies. Craps, at least you
Asher
have to have an understanding of math.
Asher nods knowingly and says, "Absolutely."
So many foolish
So,
and
yeah.
running around with such foolish names. Craps, you know, like
Well, I'm
tic-tac-toe. I mean, how dumb do you have to be? Really? Tic-tac-toe? Come on.
I'm glad to have someone on my crew who's got a good head on her shoulders.
Yeah, I try. I'm a really good mouse burglar if you ever need one.
That's good, and she leans forward toward Maddie Foodle and says, "I've really been preparing to do some house breaking, but this crew's never wanting to break into houses. We're always just in dungeons and stuff, you know what I mean?"
Yeah, I think on your entire crew, I'm the only like break into stuff type of person. Everyone else is like a smuggler or a salesman or something like that.
Well, maybe you and I can go break into something just for fun sometime soon.
Yeah, and be murder hobos.
Yeah. What?
Maybe, maybe be murder hobos. Doesn't that sound fun?
Ashley
Yeah.
Ashley kind of tilts her head and says, I don't mind murdering evil people, but I try to stay away from doing physical harm to civilians."
Yeah, yeah, that's no fun. It's just too easy.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'll absolutely put them to sleep with my sleep poison. And she like pulls the vial out and waves it like she's showing off a prized possession.
Yeah. Plus, if you hit them too hard, their heads come apart. That's no fun.
Yeah, and then you gotta wear the blood all night. No, no, thank you.
Yeah. And blood sticks to stuff too. It's kind of gross. You get even dirtier.
Yeah. And then if it gets on your loot, then you don't get as good a price if you can't get it off.
Well, I sure am honored to finally talk to you, Captain. But the first mate looks like he's got his eye on me. I should probably watch this anchor.
Asher nods and says, "Okay, thanks." That'll be it for Asher and
Okay,
company.
laters.
And next up is Tenzi and company.
If Luther is doing the food, then I will just chow down. And that's all I'll do right now.
Yeah, Luther comes up above to he or the Superior Star, Gromnar, Luther. Yeah, he comes up above decks, and he just kind of walks over to where Gromnar is at. Where's Gromnar? Oh, there he is. Wait, why did that not work? There, okay, it dropped. Yeah, he walks over to Gromnar. And it looks like he's maybe getting ready to cast a spell. Like asking like, where's everyone's plates? Where are your bowls and spoons? Are you ready? Are you ready for the holy porridge?
I'll come over and ask if it's help gathering stuff, getting things ready.
Okay. Anything else from Tenzi?
Nope.
All right. Next up is Gromnar and Company.
Oh man. Okay, so Gromnar, of course, will, toss those halves of a busted helmet over the side into the water. And Luther looks at Tenzi and he says, well, I'm not sure how you can assist. And he mumbles a few words, waves his hands, and food appears.
All right. I don't really have a bowl as equipment, so I have to go under the deck to the galley to grab a bowl or something, a spoon, and come back up and taking in the nutritious although bland food.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like
all I imagine when I read that spell is, just like little food blocks.
like Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's just what comes to mind when you read that spell, at least for me.
I always imagine the story of manna falling from the sky in the desert during the Exodus, and and how eventually everyone's like, "Oh, we're so tired of manna."
Yeah.
Or, like little blocks of bread or some, you know what I mean? Just something really, ugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for them. I mean, just anxiously awaiting the arrival of the city so Calamar can find out what these swords are for me.
Okay. And then on, he just kind of comes out and gets his like little handful of food and chows down on it, getting its nutritional value, and goes and hangs out below decks. No one on the Order of the Superior Star is really tired right now because of the 3 naps that Tenzi's been casting throughout the day. Um, I guess the people who normally go to sleep in the nap at 10 p.m. Might be, you know, getting towards the end of their day or whatever, but that's like 4 hours from now. So, um, yeah, it's supposed to keep you awake for basically 23 hours. Um, all right. So everyone kind of has their dinner, chow down, hang out for the night. Um, the only encounter that came up was supposed to be uh, during the night, but it's a navigational hazard. So no one's navigating right now, technically. So the um, encounter doesn't happen. That was going to be at 11 p.m. So everyone, wakes up the next morning, 6 a.m., bright and early. The crew does, or whatever, and you guys set sail for Megiddo, and I need to roll March 15th. Random encounters. Tropical wilderness. No, not wilderness. Aquatic. There we go. Aquatic, freshwater, surface, tropical surface. It's March. 15th. 11:85, and it's still winter technically. Okay. So there is some bad weather that rolls in. Do you guys want to risk setting sail during a storm? Because you can just keep the the sails down and not go anywhere today, and you don't have to risk shipwrecking.
Sounds good by me.
Okay, so on the 15th, there's this bad storm that comes in. It's like a sandstorm that just blows everything like brown, turns the water brown, gets sand sticks all over the aqueduct and all over the deck of the ship and everything. It's just a pain in the ass to be above decks, and the crew gets every yard of sail down before the storm comes in, so the boat's just kind of rocking in the water, and the aqueduct itself is slightly swaying. So it's this really strange feeling, and the river kind of sloshes when it stops swaying. It sloshes from one side to the other, like you're in a big bowl of water, hundreds of feet above the ground, that's being blown around by the wind. It's a pretty unsettling feeling for some. Okay. Random encounters. Aquatic. Freshwater. Tropical surface. March the 16th. $11.85 winter. All right. So On the morning of the 16th, the wind dies down to a light breeze.
Well, if we're just, gonna wave away a day, then can that be the day that Calamar cast Identify?
Yeah.
Save some time.
Yep. Go ahead and cast the spell.
I'm having to reload. Can you cast it for me?
Actually, I'll just put you guys onto the crossroads, and you'll be able to.
No, the whole thing is reloading for me because um, had to restart at roll 20,
Mhm. Yeah, it's loading for
and
me now
so
too.
it's still black.
Mine is too. Yeah.
Big lots of black. Okay, just finally said, "Hey, we crashed this tab." I'm like, "Yeah, you think? Okay." So I had to restart, but this time it will probably go better.
That kind of reminds me of what my laptop does. Every time I unplug my headset, it has to tell me that I unplugged an audio device.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know that I pulled the plug out. Thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I can see it's definitely doing a little better this time because last time it was like, "Oh my God." This time I see everybody in the game. I just haven't gotten the map to show, but oh wait, a map.
Anatar is going to use this day to cast Cure Light Wounds on himself until he's all the way healed. Do you want me to go ahead and do that?
Just raise his health to max
Thank you.
because he doesn't gain any points for it. So.
Right.
And then Calamar, did your page load?
Yeah, it's really big, so I'm having to scroll around and try to find where I was. Oh, there we go. So I can
And
cast the spell.
And was there anything else you
There
wanted
it
to
is.
identify other than Gromnar's swords?
Anything that's not identified.
I don't know if there's anything. I'll check the list.
I'm sorry, I'm having to wait for it to scroll. I can't believe this shit. Okay.
By the way, Josh, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I noticed you
Oh.
filled in the magical adjustments for him.
Looks like there was a scroll case that we took off of a novice in the Tower of Serpents. There was magic detected on it, but it doesn't look like we identified it. Oh, no, that was the one you have to read. Never mind, you just gotta read it.
Oh. Okay, yeah.
That's all I'm seeing. Also, Jim's gonna want to heal up our hill.
Still waiting on that identify template.
I'm sorry, it's taking forever to scroll. I've clicked to scroll and I'm waiting for my thing to catch up with me. For my screen to catch up. I cannot even see my character yet.
Mm.
I can almost, though. I think maybe. That might be Toronto, though. I think I see the beginning of a bubble where it could be invisibility. All right. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Which one are you going to identify first? The one with the weird shape-changing fin, or the one that's shaped like a razor blade?
One that's shaped like a rose blade. I have clicked on wizard. Okay. 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 What level? 1. Um. Is it universal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, finally, things seem to be caught up.
Okay.
Yes, things seem to be like way slow, and then all of a sudden it just seemed to catch up. So, yay. But I'm sorry about that, you guys.
It took me that long to find the item. Okay. All right. So you spend 8 hours during the storm cleansing the two swords, getting them ready to identify somewhere below deck, and you decide to identify the razor blade shaped one first. It says so for your first roll.
Turana also cast it, but I don't think that she's going to be needed unless he fails something.
Okay. It says this weapon is treated as +3 or better for purposes of who or what can be hit by it, even though it gets only a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls. So, Gromner, that was why it felt um, more more balanced than what it appeared to be. Like,
Okay.
it's that striated steel, but it feels like it's way more powerful than that.
So it's
Because
actually +1/+1, but it can hit things that take +3.
yep. Its power is great, however, for on a very high attack roll, it will sever an extremity, arm, leg, neck, tail, tentacle, whatever, but not head, determined by random dice roll. So if the
That's pretty sweet.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, I was right. Sword
Disarm
of
the whole
sharpness.
thing.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So your next roll, so that's the first ability. Second ability is if the opponent is normal or armored, your modified score to sever, considering only the sword's bonus of +1, need only be 19, 20, or 21. So you can roll 18, 19, or 20 and sever someone's extremity. A normal person or armored person. Okay. Larger than man-sized, it's 20 or 21, so you have to roll 19 or 20 on large creatures. Okay. Large or bigger. And then any creature made of solid metal or stone, so iron golems, stone golems, earth elementals, clockwork horrors, stuff like that. You have to roll modified 21, so that means you have to roll a 20, and you'll be able to sever extremities because it only considers a sword's bonus of +1. All right. So that's the second ability. The third ability, a sword of sharpness will respond to its wielder's desire with respect to the light it sheds. One, a 5 foot circle of dim illumination. A 15-foot light, or
Oh, snap.
a 30-foot radius glow equal to a light spell.
Holy crap.
So that's technically magical light. So you can actually,
Ooh.
cause it to glow with a 30-foot radius, and it will make it so that creatures with light sensitivity within 30 feet of you, their light sensitivity is activated. So you're talking
Nice.
drow, you're talking goblins, I think orcs. I'm not sure. So yeah, pretty cool weapon. All right.
Nice. High five, Gromnar. Yes.
So
Boom.
that took your first three dice rolls because it has three abilities. Okay.
Okay.
And now your fourth dice roll is for the history of this particular sword of sharpness, which I don't go into the history of magical weapons anymore. I used to when I did face-to-face games, because I could use a 3x5 note card and write it down and hand it to somebody. But now I can't do that. I'd have to write up a whole um, handout for it, and I'm just not going to do that. But Gromnar, you gain in learning the abilities and history of your sword. You gain 7,000 experience points.
Nice.
Damn.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That is very nice.
And then you start identifying the other one with your fifth roll.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So your fifth roll. Let's see. This gives the wielder the option of using all, some, or none of bonus, the magical bonus in defense, thereby improving his or her armor class against any opponent using a handheld weapon. So not missile weapons. It has to be in melee, such as a dagger, mace, or spear, not hurled. So not a thrown spear, sword, etc. For example, the wielder can, on the first round of battle, opt to use the sword as +2, so +2 to hit and +2 to damage, and save the other two bonus factors to be added to his armor class. This can be done each round, so you can willfully change the attitude of the sword. And there are 5 settings. There's one that's fully defensive, which gives you +4 to your armor class and +0 to hit and damage. Okay, and then you've got +3 to your armor class, +1 +2 to armor class, +2 +1 to armor class, +3 and then +0 to armor class, +4. So five different settings because this particular sword is of +4 enchantment.
Very, very nice. Holy crap.
And with the sixth roll, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you find the history of this sword. It's actually a sword +4 defender. And then Gromnar, this knowledge grants you 3,000 experience points.
Nice.
For a total of 10,000 experience for the pair of swords.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well worth the gift. Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
because with these, he's not just proficient, he is a master.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're gonna have a good time.
yeah, and you have the potential to
Oh yeah.
become High Master and Grandmaster too.
Yeah. You're gonna be kicking ass and taking names.
I,
Here,
I've
Grumnar,
now
go deal with that problem. We'll wait over here.
I have now become a viable replacement for Varen and his Ashuras.
Yeah, um,
All right.
Varen's
Hell yeah.
Varen's equipment was really important to his functionality. He had a +5 shield and +4 longsword. So these that defender kind of functions as a shield while you're still dual wielding, because you can raise your armor class by 4 and still, hit creatures that require +4 to hit, right? Because
Yeah,
it doesn't say that you actually change the enchantment of the sword. You always hit +4 creatures with that sword, and you can use it to raise your armor class in to melee weapons. While in melee, and still fight with two swords. So it's kind of like using. It's almost like using uh, like a medium shield +3, while still bashing as though it did sword damage. So
it's like having two swords and a shield.
yeah, two swords and a shield, pretty much.
So sweet. Yes.
All right.
Gromnar could feasibly go down to -2 AC and still beat the shit out of things.
Yeah.
And he's naked, right?
No, he's
No.
got that enchanted chainmail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that all the things that we needed to identify? There was one that I just needed to read. Do I want to just read it to identify it?
Uh,
It's not
scrolls and
identified by the
books.
spell.
Scrolls and books you just read.
So can I just read the scroll and see what it is?
Yeah. Which scroll is it?
Yeah, which scroll was it, Asher?
You said it was from the Tower of Serpents.
Yeah, the novice on the third floor.
Find Tower of Serpents. Restore. Novice on the third floor. Roll20 just changed the way their character sheets load, and it takes a lot longer now.
Oh, is that why? Okay.
Yeah. There was actually a couple days last week where character sheets were not loading. They had to put out a hot fix for it. Okay, so this scroll is not an arcane spell scroll, so you actually need to identify it.
Oh, then I identify
Oh.
it then.
Yeah, it's not a spell scroll. Period. So
Okay.
Okay.
priests can just
So,
use priest scrolls without doing anything. Wizards actually have to cast read magic to read wizard spell scrolls, and then protection scrolls are the third type, and you have to identify them because they're literally a consumable magical item. You use it once, rip it in half, and it has its effect for however long it goes, and that's it. Okay, so you're identifying this item with your seventh roll. 5, 6, it's eighth roll. And you find that it is a protection from elementals scroll.
oh, that's cool.
Okay.
Calamar thinks that that's pretty good because, who wants, air elementals and fire elementals coming at you, right?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want those. No, no, I don't.
I mean, maybe for the experience factor, but no, not really.
No, not really. No. That's a big NO on that one. All right, and that's everything that we've got? I
I
love it.
believe so.
High five. Boom.
Calamar gets 50 points for uh, identify.
Hell yeah.
It
Before we
feels like.
proceed, may Jim,
God,
oh, may Jim please heal RL?
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
It's we'll say that's something that you could have done like on the way to this point. So just raises health. He doesn't gain any
Okay.
XP, and just raise the health all the way to
Okay,
max.
thank you.
Okay. All right. So back to the 16th. Do you guys? Tinroth says, "Oh, Captain. Today's weather is a little bit more favorable. It's a light breeze, so the boat's speed isn't multiplied or anything. So we'll be sailing rather slow, 4 miles per hour, but we should be able to get there in about 3 hours, by my
Asher,
estimation."
Asher points toward the city and says, "Onward then! Let's go!"
Hoist the mainsail, raise the anchors, blah, 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 blah. And everyone's like, "Aye, sir! Aye, sir! Aye, aye, sir!" Okay. So, back to the land of Nod map. Time now is About 7 a.m. on March the 16th. So you get there at approximately 10 a.m. March 16th, 10 a.m. March 16th, 11:85. Oh, Jaldi's here. Hey, hey.
Hey.
Your mic sounds pretty bad. If that's you, Sheldy.
No, that was me. I thought you said something else. I thought you were saying somebody in chat. I'm sorry. Ignore.
No, you're lighting up, but we can't hear you talking. It's just static.
Yeah.
You might try and reload Discord.
Or make sure that your mic is properly installed on Discord and that it's being used by Discord as well. There's several settings when you use a mic.
Still static, buddy. There you are.
Yay!
I didn't hear him.
Try leaving it and coming back in again. Now with your phone,
Okay.
that should fix it.
Okay.
Oh, now I hear him.
Are you
Oh,
ready?
here's
Okay.
you now.
Sweet. Thank Jesus.
Okay. So you guys are, you chill, camping on your boat, on the aqueduct for about a day while there's a storm. At that time, you identify uh, Gromnar's new swords. He gets a bunch of experience points for it. And the next day, the storm dies down. It's now like a light breeze, which means there's no wind modifier for the ship. The ship's just going at 4 miles an hour.
Oh, thank you, Gromnar.
And it takes approximately to zoom in, I think. Wow. Okay. It is time for our first break. My virtual
Okay.
tabletop's not responding now, so I'm just going to shut it down. We can get a drink, get a smoke, get a
Okay.
poop, get a snack, come back. We've been playing for approximately 1 hour, so it's about time for a break anyways. And we'll be right back in 5. Here we go. Oh, hey, we've got some guests in chat. Smurfbox. And Smurfbox is a friend of mine from way back in the day when I used to stream DC Universe Online. What's going on, Smurf? We'll be back in 5.